big one.
Good. Cold open.
Can you just say hello there, friends, and welcome to another episode of Football Manager Therapy.
All right.
I'm your host, Rich Owens.
Okay, I'll do it. Well, I can't do it that well. That's the problem. Hello there, friends, and welcome back to another episode of Football Manager Therapy. I am your host, Rich Owens, and joining me this week, for the first time ever, audio listeners, you'll just have to believe me, I am joined collectively by the entirety of the FM team. We have D-Boy Plays, we have Steak Bake, we have Y Callum, we have the returning Jebaroo, who, for the audio listeners, is holding production notes above his head, which I will do my best to adhere to when I'm editing this podcast later. Jeb, you're back. Hello. How are we?
Yeah, I'm all right. I tried to do things, and then my PC blew up, and then I went on tour, kind of. Went to Dundee, went to Glasgow. Nearly got assassinated in Glasgow by some pizza crunch. Yeah, all good. All good.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was expecting you to say there, especially that last sentence. And I think context would only slow it down. So.
Never eat pizza crunch, that's all I'm saying. That's all I would say. And definitely don't eat chicken pakora because you might nearly die or poo yourself. There you go. I caught that one, didn't I? I caught that one. I nearly
just about
didn't say
caught it.
shit.
Oh, no. Well, I'm going to have to hover. I'm going to have to click the explicit content button now. I'm going to have to do it now. Potty mouth. Potty mouth. Well, it's lovely to have you back. It's very nice to have you here. You are sat, again, for the audio listeners, you sat a little bit lower than me, but we will explain why shortly. Callum, hello, friend. How are you in the top corner?
I'm great, thanks. I'm great. What an honour for us all to be here this evening together. Know. It's taken how many weeks? I don't know. Plenty before we've all finally got in the same room together. It's a game show of sorts has forced us all together, which is a wonderful thing. So yeah, very much looking forward to it today. I introduced my daughter to ice cream just before the podcast started, and that went very well. It turns out loves ice cream. Might not have been the best idea just before bedtime. However, I'm here not doing bedtime like a responsible father. So I've got, after the podcast finishes, I will discover how bedtime went. I'm going to guess not very well.
Proud of you, champ. Proud of you. It's part of the joys of parenting, isn't it? Do you do what we do in our house, or do you alternate bedtimes? Do you pass them back and forth?
We sure do. Yeah, we absolutely do.
Yeah. There's nothing quite like getting the kids all jazzed up before bed and then handing them to your significant other. Like, this is a you problem now. Later, I'd like you to maybe have a little cuddle with me. Oh no, wait, you hate me. Weird that. What are the chances? If only there was. The science behind it is confusing. I can't figure out what I've done wrong. She told me she loves espresso. She loves it. Well, I gave her 3. That's what I'm supposed to give to kids before bed. I've been texted by my wife since we've started this podcast saying, I'm glad you're having a lovely time with your friends, but you're having it very loudly. So cheers, love. Appreciate you enormously. Stakey, how are you? Have you been told, have any noise complaints in your household today?
No, not yet. But yeah, I'm all right. I'm sure there'll be noise complaints later because I don't have a child, but I do have a crazy dog. So I'll go down later, wind up my golden retriever into some zoomies, and then allow him to dive on my parents in bed, which is usually quite funny because you hear that as my dad gets crushed in the testes by my dog jumping on him, which is always quite funny. That's what I'm going to do later. But apart from that, I'm very well, thank you, Rich.
Good. Definitely got to click that explicit content button now. Goodness gracious me. Filth. Wonderful stuff. And finally, it's never taken this long to do the intros before because there's never been this many of us. But I'm glad there are. Last but certainly not least, hello, D. You big wonderful man. You. How are you? How's things?
I'm tickety-boo. Thank you very much. First of all, I want to say thank you to all the lovely kind words that I think the three of us heard after last week's pod. So thank you everyone who said such lovely things. And yeah, I'm doing really well, thank you. I actually took a day off this week following our conversation and said I'm having a day for me, and I just sat and did nothing. It was wonderful, absolutely fantastic, and I fully recommend it to anybody who's got too much on their plate. Just have a day where you do less than nothing.
Beautiful. Beautiful. See, I would love to do that tomorrow, but I'm not sure how work would feel about it. Can I send them a letter? D said I'm allowed to do nothing today. Cool.
I mean, I'll go to your work and I'll just tell them that. I'll say I said Rich could have the day off. So.
Perfect. If you
could you also look after my child, Dan? If possible.
Okay, I'm not looking to make. I'm not looking to now make the day really busy.
No, it does sound like you wanted us all specifically to. Jeb, do you need Dan to do anything for you, or
sure?
No, I'm all right. I'm fine.
Thanks, Jeb.
I'm nice to Dan because I want to look after him. He deserved that day off. He deserved it.
He did.
What's this narrative? When I was new, Jeb, you were super mean to me, and it hasn't stopped. So, what's going on here?
You sat there in an Everton shirt. I mean,
it's not particularly offensive, is it? Let's face it.
It's quite offensive. It's offensive to the Premier League. Right. Anyway,
for very much longer. Don't worry.
Good.
I can't talk.
None of us can. Imagine supporting a Premier League club. Imagine how smug you would be. I'd be so smug. Cock of the walk. That'd be me walking around, just telling everybody, Premier League Football Club. Don't you know? I'd be doing the exact arm gestures Callum is doing.
5 points clear.
Yeah, clearly at some point it's going to happen. Now, thank you for bringing last week up, Dee, because last week's episode, like I said, there are lots of kind words from people who have listened to it and genuinely appreciate it. It's very, very sweet of everybody. Thank you all very, very much. I feel that this week, in a bit of contrast to the quite serious things that we talked about last week, we should probably change direction a little bit in terms of what we're going to do. I had an idea about 7 or 8 weeks ago, and I set the fellas a little bit of homework. And the idea is called Taskmaster, which when it's written looks a lot cooler because it's Taskmaster with FM in front of it, and visually it looks cool. So I set the lads a little bit of homework, and we're going to play. We're going to do the first ever episode of Taskmaster, which is why Jeb is sat a little bit below me, because it's Greg and Alex, isn't it? It's little Jebaroo. There he is. That's the voice. That's the voice. But before we get going, actually, this is a request, I think, to the audience. Hello, audience. How are you today? I think it's just important we address this very, very early on in terms of parodying game shows. Some acquaintances of mine who run a podcast called Dead Men Talking, lovely two fellas called Rob and Freddie. They did a Taskmaster parody a little while ago with their podcast. They did a live show. One of their audience members, for a jokey joke, thought, wouldn't it be funny if I reported this to Trading Standards? Wouldn't it be very funny if I reported this? And maybe Channel 4 will go, oh, that's naughty, you shouldn't do that. And they entered a 6-month-long legal battle with Channel 4 over a parody game show. Our audience, please don't do that. As it turns out, you're allowed to. You can do parodies, and that's what this is. But just go, oh, do you know it'd be really, really funny? Just legal stress for Rich. That would be hilarious. Please don't.
We're not doing Taskmaster though, Rich.
It's
fine.
FM Taskmaster.
There's a clear loop. No, there's a clear loophole here. We're doing FMT-askmaster. You know, it's completely different. There's not 2 T's in there, and we are called FMT, and we get the T. So
there you go. Thank you. So, yeah, don't report us to the law, please.
It's also a lot different to FMT-askmaster, but we won't go into that.
Very different.
Very different show. Very, very different show. Same contestants, weirdly, but very different show. Yeah. Cheeky show for a bunch of cheeky boys. What a lovely time. So, for those of you that haven't seen online, because I put the rules online a little while ago, just in case anybody wanted to play along at home.
Wait, there
The
are
rules to FMT-askmaster were thus: I set the lads a challenge of completing a one-season save with Wolfsburg in the Bundesliga. Hello, Jeb.
I did do it, Soz.
Yeah, Jeb didn't do it. Jeb's computer exploded and he had to go to sea, and he's been on tour, and then some chicken pakora nearly killed him. I think
Not me,
accurately.
no, it's Pizza Crunch.
Sorry, Pizza Crunch. By the way, the podcast is now sponsored by Pizza Crunch, so awkward time. Hold on. Pizza Crunch. It won't kill you, is what they've asked me to say.
It definitely will.
It definitely.
Jeb, the sponsorship.
No. Stop the sponsorship. The rules were thus, or the challenge was thus: a one-season save with Wolfsburg in that Germany. I asked contestants to meet as many of the following criteria as possible. I asked them to accomplish the lowest league finish possible without getting sacked. I asked them to score the most goals possible from set pieces. I asked them to finish the season with the shortest average squad height. I asked them to pick up the most yellow cards in one season and the highest number of players with a minimum of one start in the Bundesliga. Those were the very, very specific instructions that I gave the team. I also gave them a series of quite vague instructions to complete as cheeky additional objectives. I asked them to show me a traffic light. I asked them to be press proven. I asked them to win something. I then just said Boxing Day 99 2.0. And then finally, the TJ Special. That was everybody's list of instructions. I think it best. Shall we start with the quite obvious instruction? Shall we start with the approaches where I kind of gave them a little bit of guidance as with what to do? Shall we start there? That seems like a nice place to start. D, hello, friend.
Hello.
Hello there, love. D, I asked everybody to start as many players as they could, get as many players, a minimum of one league start in the Bundesliga with their Wolfsburg team. What was your approach to that, my friend? How did you get on?
Well, I figured the easiest way to do this is to utilize two great things in Germany. One is the fact that you can register up to 99 players into your first team, and the fact that Wolfsburg have got a pretty big youth squad. And I just decided to start like 2 or 3 youth players every game, as well as 9 players that will do the job. Just rotated throughout the season and just saw how we got on, and managed to play quite a lot of people in the formation that I was playing. I managed to play quite a lot of people. There were a few people that missed out because they didn't fit into my tactic, like a lot of goalkeepers.
Significantly large number of goalkeepers. I mean, were you limited to starting one goalkeeper every game? Or was that just a limit you imposed on yourself?
That was a self-imposed limit. I stuck to the 2 goalkeepers that I kind of basically rotated 2 goalkeepers, Cohen Casteels and everyone's favorite, David De Gea, who I signed on a free. Because I did decide I was going to also binge the free market, play someone for one game, and then never use them again. So I had quite a lot of freebies that got one appearance, and then they all got cross and then ran away and left me.
Which is German football, baby. Them's the breaks.
Yeah, man.
It's a tough old game out there in Germany. I very specifically picked the Bundesliga for that reason. The fact that you can register 99 players out there. And so you worked your way through the youth team. You did all right. Stakey, more of the same from you? Similar kind of approach as the season went on?
No, pretty much. I completely forgot about this objective. I don't know why. I read the rules so many times, and this was one that I saw with 3 games left of the season, and I just went, don't play anyone I've played before, and rinsed the team out and put in an entire squad of youth players for the last couple of games of the season because I panicked and didn't do my homework until the last minute. And this is the lesson to you kids. Do your homework when it's given to you so that you can relax and chill rather than panic and have hyperventilation and heart palpitations, you know.
Absolutely. Which is fair enough. You know, it's the 7 P's, isn't it? You know, proper planning and preparation prevents poor performance. Why did I edit the word piss there? Because we've already dropped the S-bomb twice. Yeah. So I should just lean into it moving forwards, shouldn't I? Jeb, as my kind of, you know, little Alex Horn, compadre, my podcast Booderino, if you will. Obviously, I've sent Jeb the results, and definitely nobody else just before we started recording the podcast. That definitely didn't happen. That would be really embarrassing for me as a person to have spent so much time planning this to only let everybody know who won right at the end. Jeb, I've sent you the results. Now, you can see that Steak finished with 47 different players who got at least one Bundesliga start. D finished with 69 players with at least one Bundesliga start, which is a very nice number.
Yeah, legally allowed to say nice. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Nice. Now, this is where I need your guidance on this one, because I went through your results column. Yes, I need to know which one is the bigger number, because technically one of the things I have written on my spreadsheet isn't a number. Because Callum, hello Callum, you didn't actually specify how many players started for you in the Bundesliga. So I've just written some players. If you were, how many was it, Callum? Because I know you sent me a screenshot of some players. A lot of them didn't even have a league start in them. So are we doubling down on that, or is it somehow magically 70?
Look, I find this sort of concept of a game very difficult because I don't like to play by the rules, Rich. I'll be honest with you. Not even my own.
D gets 3 points. Steak gets 2.
Sorry.
Callum gets 1.
Sorry.
This could be a very long episode. I'm not going to lie.
I need the right to respond. Yeah, I mean, I won't sugarcoat it. 16 players I had during the season. 1-6.
Okay.
I'll move on.
How did you just go through that naturally with injuries? Like,
yes.
Look, the reasoning I don't want to go into too much. Can we please move on? I feel like this stage.
We will.
It's important. We don't dig too deep. I think
we'll move on.
I think the key to my data is let's just not think about it too much.
Okay. Context again will slow everything down if we dive too deep into any of this, which is fine. Now, the next two objectives I've picked, which was set piece goals and average squad height, I was like, oh, well, that'll be funny because they massively contradict each other. If we go by height first, obviously, you had 69 players in your squad at some point during the season. I know you've already mentioned a very, very tall Belgian goalkeeper and a not particularly small Spanish goalkeeper as well. Some might say that's not necessarily the most tactical approach, trying to get an overall very small team.
Yeah, I thought because when I use youth players, I thought, it'll include their heights in the average height as well, and I sort of prioritized the shorter players. It turns out it's just whatever was in your actually in your first team. So when I submitted it, it told me it's 6 foot. So my average height was 6 foot. But I think that I think that sacrificing the height one has benefited me in others, and we'll see that all come to fruition in about 10 to 15 minutes, I think.
Okay. I think we can all agree that's worse than only having 16 players. That's definitely worse.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Definitely worse. It's definitely worse.
I mean, open to debate, really, isn't it? I mean, Steve, you fielded 47 players. 6 foot. Would you say that's a fair kind of benchmark for height of an average squad?
I mean, there are a lot of tall players in the German league, and naturally Wolfsburg straight away. So I imagine it's quite difficult to get rid of those players, as I found. But the first thing I did was got rid of Castiles, 6'6". I was like, yeah, no, see you later, mate. See you later. And I brought in a 5'10" goalkeeper called Geordie Massip, and I'm sure we'll hear a lot more about him today because I love this man now. He was great. I then loaned in a bunch of 5'1" and 5'2" players, like literally just searched for the players, loaned them in because I was under the assumption that it was the squad average, not your starting 11 average. So I made an error. Yeah, I have too, I think. But I was quite happy with 5'9". So I think I did quite well there.
I will add, if I may, retrospectively, I did loan out Castiles because he is a very tall man, but then I did bring in De Gea as a replacement. So it wasn't really worth it. I should have just kept him, really. And it would have been fine.
You got rid of quite big, but then you went for slightly less big instead of little.
Big.
Yeah. The big seems to be the word that's reoccurring in that one for me. Yeah. Which I suppose brings us to Callum. My question for you, Callum, bearing in mind you only fielded 16 players all season, possibly unrelated, Callum, how tall is DiMaggio Wright-Phillips?
DiMaggio Wright-Phillips is 5'7".
Okay,
was cracking in that. He had a sub appearance, so he didn't even count towards my appearances. It was a bit of an error on my part. I'm also now noticing that Ansi Suhonen had 11 sub appearances, didn't start one game. So once again, another error. But I'm going to be honest with you. I decided that I was going to win the average height one. I knew that Steak and Dan would take this more seriously than me. So what I did the first day I joined is I put every single player above 6 foot on the transfer list. If they got no offers, I actively released them. A lot were blocked by the board, so then they were demoted to the under 19s and never seen again. So my team, you can say a lot about my team, but you can't say they're tall. They were a short group of individuals and an average height of 5'7".
That's very, very small. As the official adjudicator of this, Jeb, that you didn't know you were going to be until very recently, happy with that as a set of circumstances? No legal loopholes that we need to investigate here?
Callum did the same tactic that I did when I did start it on the boat. I did sign Dries Mertens, who's 5'3", so he's like he's actually all right to actually play. He did okay for me in the few friendly things that I did. There was a goalkeeper who was 3-star rated. I'm sure it was like 5'7", which was, I didn't expect it. I think he was an African goalkeeper. I need to probably hunt back in it, but yeah, I guess Callum gets it on this technicality.
That's a word that may come up a lot this
evening. It's just a phrase.
Yeah, it's just a figure of speech, isn't it? So yeah, in average height, Callum's absolutely smashed that one. 5'7" average height. Quite incredible. Callum, we'll carry on with you then, because obviously we said average height and set piece goals is going to be something that there may be a little bit of a contradiction. How many goals from set pieces did your averaging 5'7" squad score over the course of the season?
Well, look, as I said, I decided to win the height one, Rich. And I knew some things, unfortunately, were going to be put to the wayside, like most of the other ones. The set piece one, not that successful.
Okay.
I scored from one corner. We scored from no free kicks. So one. Which is the same amount of points as you're going to be getting for this segment. Spoiler alert.
One. That's
ironically,
not
we played
many.
for set pieces all season as well. I don't know what happened.
So weird. Weird.
We were actively trying to get set pieces. So
it's weird that it wouldn't work out that way. Very, very weird it would work out that way, isn't it? Almost like this direct correlation between height and ability of scoring from corners. Weird. Very weird. D, how did you get on with surely your 6-foot giants reigning in set pieces all season, you would imagine?
I mean, I don't think I did too badly, but across all set pieces, free kick wise, I think we were pretty underwhelming. I mean, I even signed Morten Gamps Pedersen just to try and have someone who'd actually score free kicks.
Well, why wouldn't you?
Well, exactly. We managed to get six corners. There were from direct free kicks, 1, nailed it. From indirects, there were 5, and then if penalties are also counted, 1 on that as well. So 13 in total is what we achieved.
13 in total. I mean, considering yours were in the context of this challenge, you essentially had the Harlem Globetrotters. Everybody, they might as well have been on stilts compared to the opposition.
I mean, because I'm obviously playing the whole time, like watching the games. Like every time there's a corner, I'm like, okay, come on, boys, please get some set piece goals. We must have missed maybe 20 easy to score corners or like routines where it's like, I don't know how you're missing this. You are 6'5" and you have like 16 jumping reach, 17 heading. You shouldn't miss this, yet you are. And I just got, I got very, very cross. I think I actually might hate Wolfsburg after doing this as a result of the fact that they couldn't do set pieces. So, yeah.
But
I'm happy with 13. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, 30 is a good number. And, a powerful hatred of Wolfsburg is something that we were trying to develop as the season went on, clearly. Yeah, maybe that's one of the bonus objectives. Hello.
Rich, can I interrupt you here? Because I was quite harsh on Callum in the first one. So I'm going to be harsh on Stakey here because he's just been dancing for the last 3-4 minutes. Stake, how many goals do you get from set pieces?
35.
Right, there you go. Stake gets 3 points, D gets 2, Callum gets 1. just speed things along. Yeah?
So worried about this one because Dan is really good at set pieces on his saves. So I was like, I need to nail this.
So don't worry about it.
So I had the definition of set pieces up to try and claim penalties because I scored 9 of them, and all 9 were scored by Jordi Massep, my goalkeeper, and he was my top goal scorer in the entire season. Goalkeepers, yes,
outstanding, absolutely outstanding, absolutely outstanding. It's what I'd expect.
I can't believe you were so horrible to Callum like that, Stake. You don't acknowledge how good his style team at set pieces. Yeah,
we're good at set pieces.
Yeah.
Sure. Sure.
But 15 corners, 7 indirect free kicks, 2 direct free kicks, and 9 penalties. Let's go.
There you go. It's a system. It's clearly one that works. Yeah, Jeb's happy. He's done the maths on his fingers.
Yeah.
So there you go. Congratulations, Stakey. You've done set pieces. Right. Violence. Yellow cards. I demanded violence, and I wanted that to be reflected in yellow cards shown to your players. D. Did you understand the assignment?
I think I understood the assignment pretty well. Set everybody to get stuck in player positions, everyone to tackle hard, every tactic, every single game, selected every player, tackle harder, just to instigate some sort of booking. And for a majority of the season, we were second because Darmstadt decided they were also going to assault everyone as well as Bochum.
Okay.
They just decided they're just going to kick everyone. But we got 72 yellow cards across the entire season, which I was pretty pleased with.
Yeah. It's a pretty significant number of yellow cards.
But I'll take that as a start.
Heck of an effort. Callum, violence on your end? Do you also have your Wolfsburg lads kicking lumps out of everybody on the regs?
No, no, I do not. I felt like this was, to actively ask us to boot fake footballers, I think was outrageous, and I took a stand for that. Yeah, I've just counted them. I got 35 yellow cards, which is half of what Dan got. I'll be honest with you, I did also put kick them in it, and it didn't work. It didn't work. We are too small, and even when we tried to kick them, people just jumped over us and carried on running. So it just didn't work. 35.
Well, plus if you've said kick them, Callum, they're German. They might not speak English. Clearly,
true.
The language barrier is
I hadn't thought about that actually. That adds up to a lot of things actually. The deeper we go into this now, I think about this.
Yeah, Google Translate is your friend. That's all I can say to you. Stakey, how did you get on in terms of the sheer brutality that is the Bundesliga?
I was desperate to win this one because funny. I'm a big advocate of the get stuck in. I have it on every tactic anyway. So I was like, how do I take this further? Every single player is going to have the player instruction of hard tackling. And I'm going to sign players that have high aggression and low decisions. So some of the players that I signed had like 17, 18 aggression and then like 11 decisions, which usually tends to mean they get booked. So I got 90. And the closest was 69 from Bochum. Bochum, clearly a horrible team as well, but just
the angriest team.
The angriest team, except for me, which and yourself.
Apart from you. Yeah.
Yeah. It was fun. I loved it. I only got 2 red cards as well, which is a bit disappointing with, to be honest.
It shows discipline though. Let them know you're there early, and then just for the following 89 minutes, just hands up. Everything's absolutely fine. Don't know what you're talking about. There you go. I think again, no loopholes, nothing to really have to dive into there. Happy with that as a set of circumstances, Jeb? Another 3 points on the board for Stakey?
Yep.
Yep. Sure.
Yep.
Sure.
Yep.
This one could be, yeah. The last of the clear objectives, I asked for lowest possible league finish without getting sacked. Stake, we'll start with you. You scored a lot of goals from set pieces, and your goalkeeper was apparently very, very good. Has that equated to a poor performance in the league?
If by poor performance you mean I completely surprised myself and did really, really, really well with a very, very strange tactic, then yes, really, really poor performance.
That's not what I meant. No.
Yeah.
That's just no.
This one, I was quite disappointed with this one, but also really happy at the same time because I did well. If we hadn't included the last 3 games of the season where I spammed youth players, I would have won the league. I came 4th. To be fair, I think it was a really low-scoring league. So Bayern won the league with 69 points, which is quite low.
Nice.
And I got 64. So yeah, I lost the last 2 or 3 games of the season because of youth players. I didn't even lose all 3 either. Yeah, I only lost 8 games. So yeah, I got Champions League football and finished 4th. Sorry. I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
Yeah, 4th. That. It's good, but also in a much realer sense, bad. It's too bad. Too bad. D. Yeah. Did you also finish 4th in the league for some reason?
No, I didn't. I managed to kind of get quite a good balance because obviously, I guess the expectations at Wolfsburg were to, be all, be good. So it was a balance of kind of, okay, if I won and drew 1, I'd lose 1, and sort of kind of keep that sort of ticking over. And we actually ended up in 9th with 44 points. Bayern won the league with 72. So there was a very brief period where we looked like we were going to get European football. We're going to get like 7th place for the Conference League. So that was when I started fielding some of the youth goalkeepers, and it really helped. It really helped ruin things.
Good,
which was good, which is what I wanted. So I was really annoyed though because I think I won the last game of the season, even without trying, and we could have finished as low as 12th, which was very frustrating that we could have finished there. But I'll take 9th. 9th isn't too bad.
Absolutely, that's not bad. Again, that was the bit that was why I picked Wolfsburg, because the expectation is that they could potentially do all right. They could be one of those best of the rest clubs, couldn't they? But they could also maybe not do as well. You might be able to keep yourself employed. So yeah, 9th is a heck of an effort.
Was it
Callum?
Was it 9th? Can I just double check?
Can we go back?
I've got 9th. I mean, in the screenshot.
Oh no, it is 9th. I just wrote the wrong number. Sorry, I do apologise. Yeah, that's on me. My mistake.
Terrible. We'll get a new one.
Sorry. Callum. Hello.
Hi.
So here's the thing, Callum, because you've you finished. Well, tell the people where you finished. Come on, where did Callum's tiny Wolfsburg team that only scored 1 goal from set piece all season finish in the Bundesliga?
So we played 34 fixtures, and out of those 34 games, we gave it a good go. You know, like we were really we tried. And I think we won the hearts and minds of a lot of people, Rich. I think, you know, the people's champions that year, if you will. We avoided the playoff as well, which I think was important. I'm sure you're wondering, what am I talking about? This is the top league of Germany. They don't have a playoff. Well, they do have a relegation playoff. We avoided that because the relegation playoff is between 17th and is it the league below as well? Is that how they do it? I don't fully know.
And
the
league below.
There you go. We finished 18th out of 18. We finished bottom of the division. We won 2 games, drew 6. And lost 26 games. For the mathematicians out there, we finished on 12 points. We're 7 points behind Darmstadt in 18th. Yeah.
Cool. You didn't get sacked though, so that's quite good. And also, you've done far better than Rich has put, because he's put 20 teams in the Bundesliga.
I have
put another 2 teams in there, and you finished below them as well. Like so,
it's incredible.
Now, Jeb, I'm going to pick up on something you've said there. I suppose a follow-up question to that, Callum. Callum, did you get sacked just a little bit? Did you get a little bit sacked? Maybe.
If you are asking me whether why Callum got sacked, then no, Rich. Why Callum didn't get sacked? No.
Did you give yourself like a German name like Volcallum or something like that?
I don't know what you thought.
That was interesting. It's interesting because, again, look, the reason I'm asking this, Callum, is because as Jeb has clearly pointed out twice, I have made mistakes on my spreadsheet. And on that basis, that's why I wanted to double check with the screenshot that you sent me, Callum, that why Callum took over as manager of Wolfsburg on the 17th of July 2023 and was then sacked on the 25th of November. And then a caretaker manager came in for a day. And then on the 26th of November, another lad called Y. Callum was rehired by the club. But he was then sacked again on the 20th of May before having a couple of weeks off and then taking the job again on the 31st of May. So I'm just double checking that is what happened based on the evidence that you've sent me. Oh, he's gone. What are the chances?
Can we hire another guy called Y Callum and bring him in? I think that's probably
let's do what Callum did. Let's bring another Callum back in and just see what happens.
Oh,
he's now completely frozen.
Oh no, he's there.
There we go.
Yep.
Oh, we can't hear
you.
But we can't hear him.
Oh, good.
There we go.
Good.
There we go. We heard you.
Can hear me.
Okay.
Do we want to do that a bit again?
No.
I don't know. No.
Absolutely not.
Look. I feel that the manager I added into the game did not get sacked and was managing Wolfsburg. Now, what previous versions of myself did is neither here nor there, frankly. What my particular Y Callum manager did, he managed Wolfsburg for 6 days, and good golly, he did a good job of it. And and I'll be completely honest with you, Rich. The other 2 Y Callums, they weren't around much either. They were predominantly on holiday. So I think, you know, the reality of the situation is I finished 20th without getting the sack. Give me the points.
Jeb, your feelings on this? Always thinking.
Loophole?
Well, why Callum does get the points. He gets all 3 points.
Okay.
Come on. Yeah.
But not this one that's taking part. It's the other one. So it's a completely separate Y Callum.
Oh, okay. It's a completely
So,
different Y Callum.
Yeah. Another
Okay.
Y Callum gets it. So there's a fourth competitor, and it's just that Y Callum.
And it's just that Y Callum.
Yeah. This Y Callum.
It's
gets
also
none.
me, so joke's on you. They were all me.
No, sadly not.
Have you just
No.
Scooby-Dooed us?
No.
I'm
So-
multiple entries in this competition now. This is brilliant.
Yeah. 2 points for D, 1 point for Stake, who just won the league, basically. Threw it away, actually. Probably been arrested for match fixing.
Probably. So have we just said so Stakey gets, so even though Callum has bent the rules, so how many
The
points are we
other
giving?
Y Callum gets 3 points. This Y Callum gets 0 points.
No.
He gets no points.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. This is outrageous.
He got
I have
sacked.
found a genius loophole within this. No, I found a genius loophole because my manager, I can show you my manager profile, no sackings, 0 sackings. The other 2 don't exist anymore, Jeb. They're retired. They're gone. They're into the ether. They don't exist.
Nope.
They've
I
gone.
never should have
Okay.
shown you that screenshot. I was in confidence, Rich.
It was. Yeah, at least you only shared it with me, so that was something. Well done. Proud
Just
of
between
you.
2 friends.
It's between 2 friends. It's between 2 friends. I feel like I just
That's what I
wanted
thought,
clarity because I've made mistakes tonight. Why am I apologizing? Let's move on to the more obscure, the challenges you were set that there was a little bit of ambiguity to them, shall we say? Let's do that. Oh, actually, before we do that, Dan, hello.
Hello, mate.
I asked you to make me a database, didn't I?
You did, yeah.
Yes, and you made me that and sent it to me.
Yes, I did. Yes.
Cheers, mate. Appreciate
the
it.
Draft.
Thank you. Right, so the ambiguous objectives. Sorry.
Do you know what I had in my mind that you were going to Josh Whittaker me and that you were going to give me some completely arduous task that you would think would take me so long. Do you want to know how long it took me? 6 minutes. Using
Good.
the editor, it took me 6 minutes. Didn't waste my time at all. So the joke's on you if you were trying to ruin my evening.
Oh, you've got me. I've been had.
3 points to D. 3 points to D for that one.
Think about what you could have done with those 6
Can I
minutes.
get 2 points in that round? Can I get 2 points in that round?
No.
We can play the Dante.
One, 1 point. Can I get what? Can I get 1 point in that round? No, half a point. Half a point. Can I get half a point in that round?
No, we don't do half points here.
Don't do half points.
Stop
Don't do half
begging,
points.
Callum, please.
All right.
I've got to try, and the rest are bad as well.
Okay, let's give you the opportunity to win some points. The first of the ambiguous objectives that I wanted everybody to actually do was the traffic light. I said, show me a traffic light. Dan, I actually wanted you to do this, and you did it.
Mm-hmm.
Talk me through your process. When you said traffic light, what jumped into your brain?
Well, obviously, the first thing that jumps into your mind when you think of the traffic lights is on the fixture list. You get the red circle for a loss,
Mhm.
the orange amber half circle for a draw, and then a green fully coloured in circle for a win. So I thought, okay,
Mhm.
I'll get one of those. But I thought, well, that's not the only traffic light system that you could get in the game. So I thought, well, players have flags. So I got a Swiss, Colombian, and Brazilian set of 3 centre backs that all lined up with those things. But then I also managed to get them to have, as far as match fitness, none. So red, on the decline, so amber, and then perfect, green. So I got it in 3 different ways just to kind of cover all bases. And
And cover them you did. I mean, some might say that you tried a little bit too hard.
I'm fine.
Not
I don't
me.
mind being a tryhard. I'm absolutely fine with it.
Happy
No.
with that, Jeb?
0 points.
As evidence that he's accomplished his task. There's definitely traffic lighty
I
screenshots
want
of
to hear
him
about
sent.
the others first. I mean, like you said, that's a big old try hard, but maybe somebody tried a bit too hard as well.
That's also true. Steak. How did you get on,
Hi.
mate? Did you
Hi.
manage a traffic light? Did you manage one?
Yeah. So I thought the same as Dan. Like it'll be the traffic light on the fixtures list. I need to lose a game, draw a game, and then win a game. Drawing a game on purpose is really hard, by the way.
Well, yeah, especially when you're trying to win the league stake. Good lord.
Well, I thought, let's not ruin it. Let's do this. Is the first thing I did was this. And I went and was like, you know what? Pre-season friendlies is how I do this. And how do I make it more of a traffic light? So I organised a friendly against Red Star Penzing, Bis Amberg, and TSV Green. And I got a red result against Red Star, an amber result against Bisamberg, and a green result against Green. And I was like, oh yeah, great. And then I looked at it and I was like, that doesn't say green. That says Grine. That says Grine. It definitely, if you're German pronunciation, it says Grine. So I was like, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again. I organised another tournament. I was like, yes, okay. This time I'll go obvious. Redditch, Bamber Bridge, and Greenways. And I got smashed by Redditch 15-5. I beat Green. 15-5 was great, by the way. I got beat by Greenways 8-0. And I drew with Bamber Bridge in normal time, but I may have clicked the button that says play extra time and penalties in the tournament. So they beat me in extra time, and I got a red for that bit. But I do have this. The traffic lights there. The traffic lights there. I just overthought it quite a lot.
I really like that though.
Yeah, great effort. I mean, you've both gone above and beyond on that one. I think is fair to say. I think the two of you have. I'd be brutally. I would have just been happy with the red, amber, green in the fixtures list. It referred to by one competitor as boring. Yes, it is, but hey. You know, you would think that anybody.
Press boss.
You would think that anybody taking part in this, that would be like, well, clearly that's the most obvious solution. I mean, Jeb, is that
say?
Yeah, well, yeah. You know what, Callum, did you manage to? How did you demonstrate a traffic light to me, Callum?
Now, I had the most incredible coincidence. So I was on the player search and the staff search. I looked on players first, couldn't find anyone. So I had a quick look through the staff search screen, and as I was, looking for players and staff with the name Light in it, I thought, there's no way, is there? I stumbled across an under-18s performance analyst at Bristol City under-18s called Mark. But you're not going to believe what his middle name and surname were. His name is Mark A. Traffic Light. That's absolutely incredible. That's his real name, Mark A. Traffic Light. And I don't think there's a better way of showing a traffic light. However, of course, I went further than that, Rich, because I knew the tryhards would do too much. And on Mark A. Traffic Light's career stats, he has absolutely no appearances in anything because he's a performance analyst, not a manager or player. But he does have a little green circle, a yellow circle, and a red circle. So if you want bonus, God, I tried. So Rich, I think, I think that's conclusive evidence.
Of this absolute wholesome talk.
Have I shown you? Look, just because I didn't try as hard doesn't mean that is not the best entry into this competition.
Actually, I think you'll find it's amber, not yellow.
Apologies, Jeb. I bow down to your knowledge.
But again,
I'm still going to give Callum 3 points there, so there we are. Because and State can have the least because he tried too hard, far too hard.
What? This is outrageous. It took me so long.
Whoa.
I mean, when I did it, I got it really quickly because I had a player that was suspended, so he had a red, and then he was also orange injured, and then he was wanted as well, so I had a traffic light there. Just going sideways.
Yeah, actually. There you go. That's fine.
Quite clever. Yeah, God damn it.
It is. It is. One of the other objectives.
Steak had one of them as well, probably.
I was just so desperate.
Chances are. One of the other ambiguous objectives I set everybody was just to win something. Now, Jeb, I know you said you got a little bit of this done before you went away. Did you manage to win something? And what approach did you take?
Yeah, it was really original. I made a cup called the Something Cup. And I won it.
Interesting.
Actually, actually, tell a lie. I lost it. I didn't win it. I played against amateur teams and put in just a bonkers formation because I want to see how bad it was. Oh, it's terrible. Playing without centre backs is terrible. That's what I will say.
Wonderful. I mean, it's an approach that other people might have taken.
Yeah, maybe. Did anybody
Steak.
else do it? Just
Steak. Is that something that you might have attempted?
Yep. I made a preseason trophy called something. It wasn't in the preseason, it was in the winter break, actually. And I got the screenshot of Wolfsburg win something, and I was like, excellent, love that, fantastic, smashed it. No one's going to think of that. I am completely original. But then, because of my failings in other objectives, as we have talked about, I did do quite well in the league. I did win Manager of the Year. And I also won the DFB Polcal, just in case people wanted to scrutinise me for not winning something. Yes!
Well, you certainly won something, didn't you?
I
My
did.
goodness
And
gracious.
It was quite chancy because Dortmund and Bayern went out in like before the quarterfinals, and I was like, hang on a minute, I could win something properly here. So I fully went for it. Yes.
I'm not liking your use of the word properly there, Steak. I'll be honest with you. It cheapens it. It definitely cheapens it. I'm just trying to do the mental arithmetic here. So you created a custom Winter Cup called something which you won, but that isn't the same competition. Was it just a pre-season friendly that you played Redditch in? Because as somebody that lives not a million miles away from that part of the world and has been to Redditch a fair few times, I'm just trying to imagine, the staff at Reading picking up that phone. It's like, hello, it's Wolfsburg. You want to play us in it? What's it called? No, they're having me on here. They wouldn't believe it. They wouldn't believe it for a second. But that was just a different friendly,
yeah,
I'm guessing.
I did quite a lot of friendlies in order to do this, if I'm honest.
Why
it may
was
come up again.
Mavis from Coronation Street working at Reddit?
She's not on Coronation Street anymore. She's a busy lady.
No, okay,
She's not ready to retire yet, Jeb, and we have to afford her that. She's
okay.
You call Redditch FC now and she'll pick up, guaranteed. Good. Callum, how did you go in terms of your winning something?
Well, not only did I win 2 games of football, which I think has got to be said, and I know that's a bit try hard. So I do apologise about that. But I won 2 games in the league. I also won the inaugural I Love Kev Cup. I love Kev Cup because who doesn't love Kev?
Exactly.
So we beat Lupo Martini 5-1 in the semi-final, and then beat Gifhorn, what a name, 6-1 in the final. So we absolutely, which was nice actually. It was nice to win a couple of games before a season of losing pretty much every single week. So yeah, we won the I Love Kev Cup. And frankly, if you don't give me the points, do you really love Kev? I think that's the real question you've got to ask here.
Wow.
I'm going to rename a player I Love Kev.
No, too late now. Can't go stealing ideas. Can't go stealing ideas.
Wow, that's a lot. I wasn't expecting emotional blackmail from this.
I've got to win somehow, as well as
got it.
numerous loopholes.
Got to take those points. Got to take them where you can. D, surely you took a completely different approach and didn't create a custom tournament and just win it, did you?
Now I know what you're thinking. He's probably done that. I did that, but I almost also almost won the DFB Pokal, but unfortunately, Bayern Munich existed in mine and humbled me because I thought, I'll do one of those preseason friendly tournament things, but I'll try in the Pokal, and we were doing really well, and then we lost 2-0 to Bayern. I won the EZW Cup. And I beat a team called Buckholes. I'm going to say that again, just carefully. Buckholes, 7-0 in the final. That was fun. So
sounds like you went right through them.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a fun moment. But yes, I did a pre-season friendly tournament.
Where did you play that? Did you go up the Buckholes or? No.
No, I think
You didn't. Oh, okay. State wins the points and so yeah. You've done that.
Yay!
Absolutely valid. Absolutely valid.
Callum. When did you play? When did you win the Isle of Kev Cup?
while I was managing them, Jeb.
Yes. We got a date. We got a date here.
Mhm.
What was the date?
No, I don't actually, because it's on screenshot, I'm afraid. So I believe it was during the 6-day management period. Yeah. Post-season
you get one.
tournament,
Yeah, you get 1 point.
That is an outrage.
D gets 2
Right.
points.
So can I question why? Because
Callum
it's exactly the same
thing.
thing.
Callum, yours
exactly
was at the
the
start.
same
Yours
thing.
was at the start of the season, Callum. I can see here.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It definitely wasn't, Rich. That's no.
Are you sure?
No. I'm not having you take off all the points, of my loopholes. You haven't even questioned my height one, which I'm very happy about. But it's all fine. It's all fine.
It's all fine.
Wait, what?
What?
Okay.
What?
Well,
Yeah.
I
Jeff, so
didn't say anything.
how many points are we giving Callum here? Because I feel like he's just suddenly started digging himself a hole.
1 point. 1 point.
Okay, lovely.
They all want something.
now-
Hey,
It's just D
Kev, you hear
won it
that?
before
Kev's
Callum.
definitely watching. They all
Can you
hate
also
you,
just
Kev.
send me
Apart
these
from me, I love
screenshots of
you.
the height thing as well? That'd be lovely. Thank you.
Sure, yeah. I'll send you it now.
No,
Hold
But
on.
Callum, that wasn't you that won it. That
No.
was the other Y Callum manager.
No. I am all white columns, apart from the ones that don't count for points. Jebaroo,
Apart from that one. Apart from that one.
Jebaroo.
Now, there were the final 3 objectives. These were the very obscure ones, or very ambiguous, should I say. We'll start with press proven. Press proven. I wanted you to prove to me that you were press proven. Steak, talk me through your approach to this very, very ambiguous objective.
I'm going to be honest, Rich. It was too ambiguous to me. I was like, I really don't know what Rich wants here.
Do any of us?
I just kind of threw some screenshots of some stats at you and was like, oh yeah, we were 7th best in possession and 8th best in pass completion. So I guess we proved that we were above average at being press proven. But I'm going to be honest, even those screenshots I sent you were pretty naff, and I was desperately clutching at straws. So I did bad at this one. Sorry again.
Bad is subjective. Bad is absolutely subjective in this
Callum's still to
context.
come, so
Yeah, exactly. We don't know.
I did a good one for this one, Steak, actually.
Oh,
Thank you very
I
much.
hope you did.
Actually, I think you'll find. Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you, Stakey. You sent me some stats, and that did not butter my parsnips.
Fair.
My parsnips
Very
are dry
fair.
and unbuttered, and I'm furious about it. D, what was your approach to this one?
Well, in my mind, when you said press proven, I thought of the press, i.e. media. So I just attended every single interview, did my patented speedrunning technique for completing every single press interview. Took me all of 2 seconds every time, and ended up with a 100% media handling bar. That's what I took it as.
I have a sports journalism degree, and I didn't think of that.
Oh goodness!
I'm unhappy.
Goodness me! Which is why it makes it even funnier that, to all intents and purposes, D did exactly what I wanted him to do when it came to press proven.
Thanks, man.
When I saw that, I was like, "Yep, D has got this." And I think D, you were the first person to send it to me. And I looked at yours and I thought, that is exactly what I'm looking for. And if this isn't what everybody else has done, then they're not going to score any points in this section.
It was really hard to send the screenshot as well, because I wanted to make sure that
tricky,
it was
isn't it?
100%. And I was like hovering over it, and then had to go to like screen grab really fast. So there's like a ghosted 100%. But yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Woe is me.
So you did exactly what I wanted.
You know.
Until I saw Callum's.
Oh.
And suddenly, Callum, would you like to talk us through your approach to press proven?
Yeah. So basically, I was trying to think, where could I find the word proven was my theory. Where could I find the word proven because you told me to press it. And so not unlike Marquet traffic light, I had a little bit of a search and I found Stade de Provence. And
what was that place called again?
Is it Stade de Provence? I'm assuming it's French.
Say it's Provence.
No, not yet. No one knows where I'm going with this yet.
Oh, right. Okay, sorry.
I mean, I've got
So
an
Stade de
idea.
Provence. So I decided to hover over Stade de Provence, but a specific part of that word. Are you ready to be surprised, everyone? The word proven is in Stade de Provence. I pressed proven. I literally pressed the word proven. That is what Rich asked me to do. Thank you very much.
I'm so angry about it. I'm so angry because I thought this was one where they're either going to get it right or they're going to get it wrong. And you technically did neither. Unless my colleague Little Jebaroo has anything to say.
Just
How
say
do you
what
feel
you did
about this,
again
Jeb?
with Stade de Provence. What did you do with it?
I pressed it.
You didn't say that. You said you hovered over it.
No. I pressed it. I promise you I pressed it. I pressed proven. I clicked it. I pressed it. Promise.
What's the pitch like?
No loopholes there. What's the pitch like? I mean,
What's the
I
pitch
can
like?
show you. Pitch like I don't blimmin' Jeb. I didn't
What's
go
the
into it in
capacity?
detail.
Well,
I
if
don't
you
know.
pressed it, you would have seen this. So yeah.
Yes, obviously I would have.
Mm.
That is an
Just
outrage. If I'm being called out on
just-
pressing a word, I didn't
D.
read it. You didn't ask me to read the stuff. You just asked me to press it. And if I'm losing
D.
points on this, I'm leaving the call.
D gets 3 points.
But it's
You
fine
can
because there's
have
one more
2.
Callum to come, so it's going to be okay. And he's the one that finished the challenge.
You can have 2 points and yeah, Steak can have 1.
I feel
because
like I
you
don't
didn't
deserve
get the
any
press
for that.
conference thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I deserve zero, actually
yeah,
zero
might be
for
zero, actually. Yeah, you didn't actually. Yeah, I think that's fair.
I've never did I think anybody would be talking themselves out of points.
that. I won the DFB podcast, so
It's saying I
Which is worth
proven
the same as winning a
screenshot that I
custom
see.
competition.
Yeah, the screenshot I see with proven is the hovering over it. They're not pressing it.
I know, because if I'd pressed it, it would have gone away from that word, wouldn't it? You have to press
But
it,
that's
and then
what the
it
task
changes
was.
page.
You're talking yourself out of more points here now.
I'll do a screen. I'll do a screen record.
Well, it's too late
How
now. You
else
can't
am I
do it
supposed?
now.
How else am I supposed to show
I
you
don't
that it's?
know.
Oh, clicked
It
it.
says
I
press and you've
clicked it.
hovered.
Like,
It didn't say hover proven.
Don't lie.
3 points to D, 0 to everyone else.
Oof. That is outrageous.
that is outrageous.
Mine's genius. I'm sorry, mine's genius. The whole game's ruined. I took this so
Didn't say
seriously.
hover
As well.
proven.
I know it didn't. It's a press proven, which is what I did. I told you we should have had Jeb on this. Bias in the council. I'm calling it now.
No, I'm
That's
going to
what I
blur
should have
everyone's faces in the edit so Jeb won't know who we're talking about. Don't worry. It's going to be completely anonymous.
I've never been more angry
right.
on this podcast.
The last two. Boxing Day 99 2.0. D, how did you approach this one?
Yeah, I did a bit because I didn't quite get really what was being asked on this one. So I did a bit of research into Boxing Day 99. And obviously, first thing to note, in the Bundesliga, they don't play a league game over the Christmas period. They have a little Christmas break. So I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to be able to do anything on Boxing Day. But I did, like an absolute nerd, count how many goals were scored on Boxing Day. And it was in real life when this happened. I believe it was 35 goals that happened on Boxing Day 1999 in the Premier League. So for 2.0, I just found a week where there happened to be 35 league goals scored exactly, which happened to be on the 3rd of December in game. So it was in the Christmas period. It wasn't during Christmas or on a Boxing Day, but it was as near as I could get it. Because of the fact that there's only, 9 fixtures, isn't it, instead of 10, couldn't get like the same number of wins, draws, and losses, because technically you're always going to be short by one. So I figured I'll go next best thing, goals, and that was my approach.
It's something. It sure is something. Callum, your approach to Boxing Day 1999 2.0, please and thank you.
I didn't do it, Rich. I didn't do it. I didn't understand it. And so I combined that with the next one. So I don't know if I was. I don't know. I don't know if you want me to say now what I did, because I combined them both, the last two. So shall I hold it back for now?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's safe to say your attempt for this one was
null and void. Yeah.
No. Okay. Not okay. Stakey,
same as when I try, Rich. Ultimately, same as when I try.
Wow. Steak.
Really.
You had a crack at this, and you approached it from a different angle to everybody else. What did you do for this one, Stakey?
Yeah, so when you were running them down on the podcast, I wasn't on this podcast when you were announcing the rules, but you specifically said you either know or you don't. And I was like, okay, then I'm not going to look this one up. If I pluck something out of my head, I pluck something out of my head. If I don't, I don't. So initially I was like, maybe it's the most goals that's ever been scored in a Premier League weekend. But then I was like, I'm pretty sure that was recent, like within the last 4 or 5 years. So I was like, maybe it was the day that the Premier League club didn't field any home nations players in their full starting squad. So I was like, okay, well, I can do that. So I fielded a full team in Germany with no German players, no Austrian and no Swiss players, just to kind of add in the whole Scottish, Welsh, Irish similarity, just to kind of throw that extra bit in there. But yeah, that's what I went with, and I could be well off the mark and have just done something absolutely stupid here. So was it good? Please.
I'm struggling to believe that, because if you search Boxing Day 1999, that is the first thing that comes up in Google search.
Is it? Genuinely, I promise I have not looked it up. I promise I have not looked it up. It's just one of those football facts. If that's right, then it's one of those football facts that's just stuck in my head.
It is completely right. That is exactly what I was looking for Boxing Day 99 2.0. Again, a big part of the reason I picked the Bundesliga, because there are so few restrictions when it comes to players. There's no, it's not like X amount of home nations or German, but you can just play whoever you want, and you've got 99 players to choose from, not 16. So yeah, it's quite a large number of players. It's quite a large number of players, and you did exactly what I wanted you to do for that one. So I feel very much like State gets some points for that one, Jeb. I don't know how you feel about that.
Sure.
Do we give D? Do we give D something for trying?
What, for adding up some numbers? No.
Okay, sorry. You get nothing for maths. Sorry. I apologise.
Have we ended up doing like reverse Taskmaster? This is how we get out of it as well. Like the evil person's this side, the small person.
This is how. This is exactly how it works. Jeb was in charge all along. He was the mastermind behind the whole thing. And finally, the last ambiguous objective I asked you to do was accomplish the TJ special, which is a particularly deep cut in reference to one of our former podcast Booderinos. Reverse order. Stakey, your attempt at the TJ special?
So, I love TJ. He's great, but I don't know him as well as you guys do. So I was like, what is quintessentially TJ in my head? And initially I thought it was getting sacked from a team on Football Manager, because he has quite a few clips on his Twitch channel. And I did go and check to see what his most popular clips were. And it's him being sacked from a couple of different teams and different clips. But I thought, but then I wouldn't be doing the first objective. So I can't do that one. So I was like, you know what? The playoffs. TJ is huge in the playoffs. He's competed. He's hosted. He did get the first donut, if I am correct. The first 0 points. So I created a tournament called the TJ Playoff Invitational, sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts. And I got 0 points in the mini league. So I got a donut in a TJ tournament. That's what I went for. Love you, TJ.
Okay. Yeah, it's something. It's definitely an approach, and I don't hate it by any stretch of the imagination.
He
Callum,
also
you
signed a
mentioned
Sunderland player because he's a Sunderland fan.
that is
Just
very
add that in
true.
there.
That is very. You did sign a Sunderland player. He wasn't very tall, if I recall. So
No.
again, on brand.
And he
On
cost
brand.
me £10 million and he played once. So
There you go. It's the dream. Callum, you mentioned that your attempt at Boxing Day '99 kind of linked in to the TJ special. How so?
I didn't know what either of them were, so instead I thought I'd write a short haiku, just because.
In comparison to a long haiku.
Yeah, just a short one.
Okay.
Just one verse, you know. So, sorry, Rich, I didn't do well. But. And that's my haiku. So I just thought, just a little bit of light-hearted comedy to round off what has ultimately been a wonderful time. I added to an absolute honor to be involved in a prestigious game, and I'm sure you can see how seriously I've taken it. I can't emphasize this enough. I was not sacked, and that's how I've left that message. And can I add?
That's
I
not
sent that as a
haiku.
note. Hold on.
Yeah.
Send that as a note, and then actually sent it to myself on FM. So I don't know why I did that, but I had to wait 4 days because I scheduled it wrong. So I had to keep clicking continue, which is the main reason that manager was in charge for 6 days, not one, because I had to wait for that message to come through.
Sure.
Yeah.
Arguably, and feel free to argue the point here, arguably the most times you clicked continue over the course of the entire season.
Yes, that is correct. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Brilliant. I haven't got the capacity to go back and just put together the jigsaw pieces. That how many did you get sacked or not? Who knows? Hard to say. D, finally from you, your last roll of the dice at this one. The TJ special.
Yeah, same boat as Stakey, really. I'm a fan of Tej and whatnot, but I just don't know. I don't have the history. I don't know that much about what he's done prior to probably last year. So sort of started paying attention probably from British Steel onwards. So I didn't know if TJ special was just some sort of right. Okay, we're going to attempt to go for some sort of cup, and because we're not going to win the league, and then completely fail because you put all your eggs in one basket. That was a complete waste of time. So so me getting knocked out of the DFP Pokal after holding Bayern to 1-1 in normal time and then conceded twice in 5 minutes and then ended up losing 5-1.
Lovely. There you go. It's something interesting, isn't it? How most of the approaches to this have been based around failure for TJ, which I think
I
is
also almost tried to
guesses.
sign a Sunderland player as well.
Couple of guesses of it. Number one is it playing the save at a friend's wedding? Is it that?
Not quite, but it would have been up there.
Yeah. And the other one was get to 99 games in management and then leave and join the New York Times or the Athletic. Too soon?
Not soon enough.
Not
soon enough. It's not soon enough. Not soon enough. No, I went for a really, really deep cut for the TJ special here because I'm a massive nerd. So, but because again, I don't think it's fair to necessarily criticize him for the sackings. I think there are other things that we should be criticizing him for. So if you had done this, or if you had written and taught an hour of stand-up based around Football Manager, I also would have given you a point
so
here.
close to doing that.
I know
It was
was
close to doing that.
You did write those 3 lines of that haiku, so you kind of started, yeah.
It is a performance, isn't it? So
it's a jumping off point, isn't it?
It was funny.
I
went for this
too.
one. I went all the way back. I went early doors. The first ever Tony Jameson stream on Twitch, where Tony spent about 45 minutes hyping up his Sunderland team, and then tried really, really, really hard in his first fixture, which was a game against the reserves and under-18s, where he got battered by them, and it was just quite fun. Just lost to reserves. That's embarrassing. The save could only pick up from here, and just sacked 3 streams later. But yeah, just basically, if you had lost to your reserves in the fixture that your assistant always recommends arranging at the very beginning of the save, I would have given you points.
I feel like there's a very good chance I lost that game, Rich. I can't prove it,
Well,
but I think there's
Callum,
a very good chance.
You say that.
Haikus are worth 100 bonus points.
Yeah.
That is what I'm hoping for, Snake. That is what I'm hoping for.
I liked it, so you know.
Hey,
I
and
don't
that's
mind
what
this
matters. That's what we're all here for, isn't it? Realistically speaking, that's what we got into this for. I was like, if anybody brings poetry to the table, I think they're in with a real chance. I think they're in with a real chance here. I've got the standings in front of me, and I've got a winner, which is good because in true Rich Owens fashion, I hadn't prepared a tiebreaker. So, which is good to know. Callum, you said you felt like you hadn't won, which is very correct. You haven't. I'm very, very sorry, Callum. Very, very
Callum
sorry.
didn't finish last, though, did they? The other why Callum finished last. So
Yes, one of the Callums has finished last. Is it you or is it a different Callum?
Right, now it's finally out there, and I've finished last. I want to admit to a few things. First of all, the average height, which I think was the only one I won. At the end of the season, So I said, that I'd sold everyone above 6 foot, and I'd only had 16 players play. I actually just at the end of the season demoted everyone who was above 6 foot into the under 19s. So I probably had quite a significant amount more than that. But my average height, being completely honest with you, it was 5'11". It was 5'11". But I knew, and rightly so, because I've put way less effort into this than the boys above me. I knew I was going to lose pretty much everything. So I thought I'll try and win one as a token and then admit to it at the end and also surrender those points. So there we go. I just wanted to come clean at the only bit of credibility I had in this tournament.
Very honourable.
Jeb, would you like me to make amendments to points scored for that round at this stage?
no, because that's going to really hurt your head, and we haven't got long left. So.
I've got a spreadsheet and it works it all out for me. I can do it.
How quick can you do it?
Oh no, it's hurt my head. Sorry if I've panicked.
Yeah, so, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay. Okay, no, we're fine. We're fine. Actually, no, because all I actually have to do is rearrange Callum and Dee's scores. So it's Callum and Stake scores, which I've now done, and it's amended them. Callum, you still lost. So there you go. That's.
I mean, I wasn't expecting to have won after that. I'll be honest with you, Rich.
Oh, okay.
I didn't think that announcement was suddenly going to get me a win. But, you know.
Here's the
I
twist.
kind of was expecting it because it's Rich. So I was like, oh yeah, he won. Yeah.
Congratulations. Bye, everybody. No. So that means that it now comes down. It's between D and it's between Stake. It's between the twins. One of them has 20 points. One of them has 19 points.
Ooh.
Amendments were just made to scores by a point. Can we please have a massive round of applause for your champion, your better, your intellectual superior, the winner of episode 1 of FMT-askmaster. It's Mr. D-Boy Plays. Congratulations to D-Boy Plays.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
He's done it.
Cheers, gang.
He's done it. D, how do you
Because Stakey tried too hard.
It'd have been a hollow victory if I'd done that, you know. Just try to.
the hollowest of victories. Dan, how do you feel? The inaugural winner.
I'm elated, as you can tell, in the change of tone in my voice. No, honestly, that was wicked. I really enjoyed doing the Taskmaster. Although, as I did mention earlier, I now hate Wolfsburg as a result of this. So there's a nice balance there. I had fun, and I was angry at something. So that was an experience. I didn't think I was going to win. I knew there was a few that I would think I was going to win, like the traffic light one. I was thinking, oh, that could be a fun one. That might give me the edge. But yeah, 1 point though. It's pretty close.
It was toit. It was toit.
And it was
How many
hell
points
of an
did I
effort.
get? You didn't see how many points I got. You said for those
9
two.
points, Callum.
Oh, not even 10. Unbelievable. That's
You had
hadn't been
10
honest, you
until
was
you
got
talked
10.
yourself out of a point just at the end there. Yeah,
It's probably 9 more points than I deserve, though. So I'll take that.
I think if we add up all of the Callum's scores together cumulatively, you still didn't win. Really.
I did have this moment when the first one got sacked where I went, really, I should start this again. But I think it'll be funnier if I don't. And then when I got sacked the second time, I thought, no, this really is a predicament now. How am I going to talk myself round of this one? Yeah, it wasn't ideal. It wasn't ideal. I did holiday every fixture, but I wanted to actually complete it in some sort of fashion. Because I didn't just want it to be State versus Dan, so I wanted some sort of option. I mean, the Provence one I'm still raging about that. I'll be honest with you. That doesn't sit very well with me at all. I do think I deserved at least a point for that. But
I do really like that you decided to just try and find loopholes for just everything. Like, okay,
but that's. I mean. Once again, we're being honest. Mark A Traffic Light isn't his real name. It's Mark Light. I added A Traffic.
Really?
I added A Traffic. Yeah, honestly, I did.
I can't believe it.
So it's good. It's good for honesty, anyway.
I'm shocked, shaken to my absolute core. Superb efforts from everybody.
Thanks.
Thanks. Genuinely, Jeb, I think you've been fantastic. So good. Genuinely, all three of you, 3.5 because Jeb played it for a bit. Wonderful. I appreciate it. I set you difficult and long-winded homework, and everybody has absolutely excelled at that. So I am so happy with everybody's approach to it as well. Cannot emphasize that enough. I think it's truly wonderful, and I've really enjoyed it. So it was, if anything, this was just an episode for me. I had a great time. I had a really, really nice time. And thank you all for enabling me. It's very, very sweet of the three of you. You know what? I think we're going to do this again. We're going to do it again. But you can have a bit of time off. Because I've made some, I've done some DMing this evening. I've approached a few people. And I've had some responses from at least one person. So we'll do FMT-askmaster episode 2. But we are still confirming the contestants, but it's coming. Oh my goodness gracious me, it's coming, and I'm very, very excited for it. Lads, that was great fun. Thank you all so much. That feels very much like a podcast and also just a fever dream, but in a really, really, really positive way. I had a really, really nice time. Jeb, do you want to make yourself regular height again? And I'll remove the logo at this point in the recording, or are you just happy down there?
I think it's quite comfortable.
Oh, okay. It's really lent into it. He's a wee man. Before we wrap up, let's all do a little bit of plugging. Jeb, you are obviously back from traveling around the country, watching B. Dolan doing his thing. You're home. Your computer is working. Streaming. Is that something you'll be doing a little bit of over the next few days?
Yes, I will be doing the FMT network save tomorrow night on the Monday, so you might be able to see it again. We'll be back with that. And then I might jump in Sheffield United, but Rust is back, so I'm now addicted to Rust, but I'm tapering my addiction by only playing it when I stream it. So I'm probably going to be streaming every night, every morning, and every afternoon I'll be on Rust. Every time I'll just go, oh, God, stream, damn it. Hopefully not. Hopefully just every other night or something like that I'll be on. But yes, I'll be streaming a bit more. I've had a lot of fun. Grand Designs will be really impressed with my roof so far. So, yeah.
Oh.
That's all I'll say. Don't know if it'll be there when I get back. It might have been destroyed by the other 40 people on the server, but we'll see. But yeah.
If you get back on and Big Kev is just straddling a beam in your roof, just gazing out over a vista, that's how you know you've done well at Grand Designs. Mm-hmm. That's the dream. Hopefully he's wearing shorts. Fingers crossed. Hope so.
He never wears shorts.
In here, he's only wearing shorts. Callum, do you wear shorts?
Yes,
And
I
also,
do. Yes, I do.
lovely stuff. Streaming, Callum, what are we saying? Where can people watch you doing it?
I mean, you can find me on Callum. I'll be honest with you, I hadn't streamed FM in about maybe even a month. Like it was quite a while. I've been playing the Pokemon stuff with the two lads above me, which has been really good fun on a Tuesday, which is still doing. However, FM, I did decide to go back into it this weekend. I haven't played it for quite a while, so I was greeted by my lovely Slough team who are 2 points off a European place. I was very excited, and we have gone on one of the worst runs of my save so far. I think out of 10 games, I lost 8 of them, including a 7-2 loss to Chelsea and a 6-1 loss to Liverpool. We're now a point off relegation and might go down. So it's going really, really badly, and I'm not having a good time. So if you want to see that, I mean, people do enjoy that, don't they? People prefer people doing badly than people doing well. So if you want to come and see someone doing really badly at FM, playing a quite bizarre formation, I'll be live at some point this week.
Perfect. What a sales pitch. I'm in. I'm invested. I think you're going to turn it around, Callum. I feel very, very strong.
I really don't, Rich. I really don't. It's going bad.
I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to one of the other Y Callums. They're in charge over there.
That's fine then. That's fine.
They're going to do. They
don't exist anymore, Rich. They're gone.
Oh no!
God.
It's happened.
Like the Prestige. Yeah, I was going to say.
It's very, very similar set of circumstances. This feels more like the Prestige now than it does FMT-askmaster. D, streaming, the internet, you, people watching, how?
Yeah. If people want to come and hang out with me over on the Twitch, doing Nuzlocke runs with the boys that I'm currently, if you're watching the video, I'm sandwiched between them. That is over at DBoy Plays, DWBOIPLAYS. And they can see me starting my brand new save because I finished on the med. I'm going to be going over to Denmark and managing the lovely Aarhus Framel that I went to go and see when I went to see friends David Nyholm and Mad Scientist. And yeah, I'm starting to save with them at some point this next week. So fun.
Wonderful. Stakety Bakety, what about you, my friend? On the internet, playing those games, people would like to watch you. How can they do it?
Yeah, twitch.tv/the_steak_bake and the steak bake on everything else. And like everyone said, I'll be doing the network save with half of you guys and then the Pokemon Nuzlocke with the rest. So, well, all with Dan. The champion Dan. So yeah, that's where you can find me.
Hey, he's a pundit now as well. Oh, look, he's really good at commentating. Now he's a pundit.
Yeah, of course.
Very true. And we've shouted them out the last 2 podcasts. The Hood production of Match of the Delay is going on. You should definitely go over and give it a subscribe and a watch because it's fantastic. And who knows, maybe I've upgraded for a 3rd week in a row in my position in the show. So you might see more of me than you bargained for 1 more week, and then I'll go back to being a commentator.
Hope so.
But it's a great show, and everyone involved is amazing.
But yeah, I was going to say, on this week's episode, you pundit and commentator. You're just doing everything next week.
Yeah, I am all the faces on the screen, all of the audio. And I'm going to compete as well.
Throw into yourself as well.
Yeah.
all of his the steak bake versus the steak bake, commentated by the steak bake. And here's your pundits: the steak bake and the steak bake.
There's a lot of costume changes, and he did it all in one take as well. It's amazing. It's like Boiling Point. It was just all one shot. It's really absolutely incredible. Fabulous. Me, if you want to watch me on the internet, twitch.tv/RichOwensFM. Still doing What's the Story for my glory. Juventus have made me sad. I've sold all my players. I still have no money. I still have, as somebody in my chat very eloquently put it, why is that player starting at left back? He wouldn't get into my League 2 team. It's because I've got no money and everybody hates Juventus these days. So we're having a great time. I'm having a good time. So come hang out with me. While I do some streaming on there. Fellas, thank you all so much for coming and hanging out today. This is the first time we've ever had all of us on a podcast at the same time. And it's been an absolute pleasure. And I hope you've enjoyed listening or watching, however you are consuming this podcast. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I've enjoyed recording it. I'm assuming everybody else has had an adequate time. but I've had a really good one. Thank you all so much for joining me. Thank you for listening, watching, however you are consuming this podcast. We appreciate you enormously, and we will see you on the next episode of Football Manager Therapy. Take care. Love you lots. Bye-bye.